All right, all right. Welcome to the episode 1 of LS Confessions. I got my crew with me. Man, you won't believe the kind of people we got here. We got everybody from all walks of life. We got people from the BDSM scene. We got couples. We got singles. We got unicorns and bulls. We got all the things you don't even think that you would exist out there. But all these perspectives are here because we're all part of a community, a very unique community. Community that believes that as long as you're living authentically and you're not living in a way that hurts anybody else, you should be allowed to do that. And that the secret of life is actually living your own truth. So we're gonna let you come along, listen to our conversations, and get right into it. So speaking of which, let's just stop pretending, man. Like a lot of y'all are watching this right now because you wanna know what this is like because you secretly, you have some interest or you wanna peek behind the curtain, and we get it. And we're here to give you that. So we're gonna be candid too, all right? So for my first question, y'all, I'm just gonna pull it on out. The question everybody usually asks when you're talking to somebody who's not in the lifestyle, right? They're like, what made you decide to do that, right? Now, I tend to think of it in terms like this. Were you driven to the lifestyle because you didn't like what was happening in like monogamy and traditional things? Or were you drawn because you saw something in the lifestyle or living alternatively and you said, you know what, I feel like that like vibes with me better? What would you say? It's open. Anybody can answer first.
It was natural for me. I think as I grew sexually, just going through college and going through those stages of life, right? You have different experiences. And I realized early on that monogamy wasn't for me at some point. Like I didn't ascribe to it in the way that other people did. I wasn't bothered by my partner's attraction to other people. So when people ask me how long I've been here, I'm like for forever because it's always been kind of what I've known and how I've moved. So after, exposure and then growing through it and then this subcategory presents itself with a title, then yeah, I'm lifestyle, but it's always just been a part of who I've been, I think.
I can feel that. I think I was like ethically non-monogamous in college too. Mm-hmm. I was telling people, listen, like our time together is our time together, our time apart is our time apart. I'm with you, and when I'm with you, it's cool. But understand this is we're not locked up. We're just enjoying our time together. So I dig that. Anybody else go back to college or was it later?
I grew up with 2 dads. So my mom had 2 partners. So in our household, it was my mom and my dad plus their third. So it was normal for me. I didn't know that it wasn't normal to have 3 parents until I got into the world. I was like, hey, I got 2 dads. So like, no, normal people have 1 dad. So it's always been about love. I grew up in it. So it was just normalcy for me.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Anybody else? Go ahead.
I've always been on some other shit, like from an early age, you know what I'm saying? And I've always been like, I was always attracted to sex and erotica, and it was to read erotic short stories when I was 13, which it also inspired me to write erotica later. That site is crazily still out. But I used to go on, that read stories. If I like the story, I download it, copy it to a Word document and save it, put it in my category, in my folder if I want to go back to it later and read it. But it was like, that kind of opened me up because one of my favorite categories obviously was group sex. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as I like watched that and got more into porn for the mental stimulation aspect of it, it kind of really opened my mind to the possibilities of things that were outside the normalcy of what society thinks sex should be about. You know what I'm saying? So as I got into college, I played football at University of Cincinnati, and I sang on campus at different events. So I obviously had a lot of opportunities for sex, and it's just the reality of it. Had a lot of sex in college. But when I was in my relationship then, we would trade emails back and forth because it was a long distance relationship. And we'd talk about, like, I would send her a picture of a threesome and caption it like it's her, you know what I'm saying? So that eventually kind of transitioned into positioning me to where I, getting into LS when I eventually did in 2008.
That was good. That's like you slid that in there. That was clever. I wasn't that high tech back then. I wish I had known that. But
You get caught, so smart.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had. I mean, you had to be trying to find him to get it.
You had to go down a path to get to the
I did that. So I mean, let me reposition the question a little bit then. So moving past how you got here, if there's anybody else that really wants to share how you got here, I'll stay there for a second. Come on.
Okay. Well, I went on a party bus. California party bus. You go to where Vegas, you drink, you go home. Well,
we
my
gotta
party
figure that.
bus ended in the hotel where I saw everybody doing these things. I said, are y'all swingers? What are y'all doing? And everybody's like, just stay, you'll love it. And I stayed,
And she
and I
stayed,
loved
and
it.
she loved it. Right.
This
She
is the
stayed,
life.
and she loved it. They didn't lie. Go ahead.
So, mine was sort of an accident. So I was in the military and post AOL days. So everybody was putting these little hot models on their computers. And so, you know, I watched porn. And so you always want to do those things that's on porn, but you never know it's possible. And so when I was trying to download a screensaver, I found the site. And, you know, I'm curious. I investigated the site. Ended up meeting like a hot wife by definition, I guess.
Can you define hot wife real quick for the people who just stumbled upon us and you know, for the newbies that may just stumble on us?
So, I mean, it's a sexy hot wife, and husband probably, well, in this case, the husband just let me do his wife while he was away. And so, and then eventually I got connected with a group in California. It was a Mandingo group. And so they only did orgies. So my introduction was just straight orgies. And so once I was back to just having like regular sex,
It's not enough
it
no
was
more.
like,
You're like, where is everybody? Right.
And I'm trying to go back home. Where is this?
Well, I guess I'm sorry.
Right.
Add this to
Mandingo
my little story. Maybe I went too far back in my childhood, but in my adult life, I was married, and I always liked girls. Kiki loved the girls, but I like ding-a-ling too, so I don't have to. I didn't want to choose. My first husband frowned upon it. It was a sin, and then I met the love of my life, and he encouraged me. Sexual liberation, like you don't have to choose. You like women, I like women. We can like women together.
I heard
It's been
that.
history ever since.
Yeah.
I love it here.
Yeah, touching on what you said, like your adulthood, you go to the root of the foundation of it. But my interest was in 2008. It was an orgy style party. I worked out with a group of guys at a gym for years, and stumbled in on the conversation one day, and I was like, "What are y'all talking about?" They was like, "Man, you gotta come to the party," you know, invited me. So I show up, and it was crazy.
It went down.
Oh man, I can I speak on?
Oh man, speak on it, bro.
All right.
Speak on it. Speak
So
on it.
obviously, these are things I have been watching on porn for years. So I'm like, I'm about to check some things off the bucket list, right? I had sex with 9 women 2 to 3 times each that night. And
Were you on ecstasy? Wait a minute.
No.
That's
No,
20.
no.
That's 27 for the old y'all who slow at math. That's 27 times.
Thing, like,
You know what I'm saying? Off GP.
I
Go ahead.
was young.
Honey
yeah.
pack?
I was,
Oh no, the
nah.
honey pack didn't exist then.
I played football, you know, in a
You had
minor league,
stamina.
semi-pro. Yeah, I was a beast.
Yeah.
I was like 6% body fat. You know what I'm saying? Just worked out, played football. 9
Just
years.
fucking.
Oh yeah, I was gone. But it was fun though, man. Like what you were speaking on the hot wife thing. So the husband is a stag. That's what I am. So my first experience with that was at a party. I was at that first party. I was having sex with a woman, and her husband was against the wall drinking a Budweiser, wearing a flannel and jeans. Like he was just chilling, and he's instructing me on how to please her. So I'm like, okay, So that was my first experience. So I hadn't been educated on anything like that. So that's what that is. But I can go, I go into.
So the stag the same as the bull. What's the difference?
No,
Stag.
it's the stag-vixen lifestyle. That's the name of the lifestyle. I'm a stag. My woman is a vixen. The bull is the man that she has sex with.
Oh, so you on both sides of the track?
Which means
He's been
on both
he's
sides.
been a
You've been the
bull
bull and you've
at
been
some
the-
point.
I never really identify as a bull
Okay.
because I'm a stag. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
bulls are in service, and I mean, especially with me as a dom, I'm my pleasure, my entertainment, my mental stimulation is served by what the bull does to my woman. You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
So for me in that first orgy, with those first 5 orgies, it was really me just introducing myself into alternative sex. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wasn't a single person, a single woman's bull. I was a I guess a play party bull. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
So
guys
I was
are
just getting it in.
Like I didn't come upon any orgies. I came upon a hot wife. That sounds amazing.
Sounds amazing, yeah.
I can find me one.
But so
Oh.
I was grew up in church, and I got married young, and it was just like I was a cheater in my relationship. I liked the sex, I like having a lot of sex. I had a lot of sex in high school. I started young, right? But then when I got married, I was cheating constantly because it was like a thing I wanted to do. I wanted to be with multiple women, and it was hard for me to be with one woman. you know. But then when me and my first wife separated, I was kind of by myself, and I thought to myself, like, why do I keep doing this? I don't want to lie anymore. I don't want to sneak around. You know what I mean? If this is who I am, this is who I am. So I decided I'm gonna go out there and try to find a woman that likes other women. You know what I'm saying? And I found, and first before I was with her, I was with another woman, and her friend.
I was his unicorn with his other one.
I was always, I never was a bull. I never was single with it. I was always in a relationship, and we go sleep with other women. But then when I found the woman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We started creating our own orgies, you know. So I had been in orgies, but it was like it was me and a bunch of females. You know.
He's
This is the thing I was looking for. This is why I was,
He's so spoiled.
but, you know, I had to build that up myself. You know what I mean?
He had to go out and get it himself. That's what he said. That's what he said. He had to go find it.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more person. You go ahead, girl.
Yeah, for me, how I got into it, I was actually introduced by a friend when I moved to Texas. I was invited to like a birthday party, and after the birthday party, she's like, "Let's go out." She had a boyfriend. Let's go out somewhere. I didn't know where we were going out, so I was like, "Okay, let's just go." So we pulled up, and it was pink velvet curtain. Man, the things I saw there. People just being free. You have women all different shapes and sizes, men all different shapes and sizes, just walking around naked, being free. The vibe there was just the thing that I like. I felt like I vibed with them. So I was like, this is something I might want to come back and revisit. And then a week later, I went back and revisited.
And never left.
She stayed too. Yeah, she stayed as well.
7 days later.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure they just casually invited you to the sex club, like, come on.
Yeah.
They saw something special.
I think they like, she might want to be one of us.
I think gang recognizing.
You know?
That's what
Oh,
I
of
think.
course.
Right. Like, it's kind of like when you smoke, you attract what you are. So you
Yes.
kind of know, like,
Gravitate towards you.
I'm freaky.
So, yes, yeah. You can put a period right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm freaky.
We know each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I think for me, I've always been freaky. You know what I mean? I got in trouble as a kid for being freaky. I used to find these, I used to find these these Playboys and stuff out in the woods behind the apartment complex where I lived. But they were still serviceable. The pictures would look good. You know, the pages were a little stuck together. So I had to work with it a little bit. You know what I mean? I had to work with it. But the brother was dedicated. So, but I've always just been really fascinated by intimacy, the closeness between people, that sharing the energy that happens. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that for me, I see so much value in people in places that other people might not even see value. So I see things to love in people that a lot of people maybe don't see. So that being the case, my heart's a little bigger when it comes to like the amount of people they can hold and care about and want to see do well and want to be a part of their success story. That and the fact that I was always a cheater. I mean, I was a cheater. I couldn't help it. I was just cheating. I didn't mean to cheat. You know what I'm saying? Like Rob said, it was accidental. Like, you know what I mean? It was accidental.
You think cheating and sex addiction is the same thing? Is there a line between, are you a cheater or do you have a sex addiction?
Now, see, so I would cheat even if I wasn't having sex because I wanted that connection.
Certified cheater.
Yeah. I would cheat for the attention and the whatever before the sex. Now, don't get me wrong, we was gonna get there. You know what I mean? But you know, on the road to there. And then I realized that I was not just freaky, but I was polyamorous. And in other words, I just had a heart that just could love a lot of people and have that really meaningful relationship with multiple people at one time. There didn't have to be just one person who was special to me, right? So that began to express itself for me physically too. So I ended up being a cheater till finally I got to college and I was like, look, I'm done with this. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that, hey, I'm with you, we're special, having a great time, and when I'm not with you, we're doing something else. And for them, it was good. You know what I mean? I got married and I wasn't a cheater. You know what I'm saying? My wife passed away and I was like, I'm going back to the lifestyle. So
you had seasons.
Yeah, well, no, so when I was married, all right, so this would be another whole other thing, but I'll be very brief. I got scared straight. It's a whole other story, trust me. So I get scared straight.